Hi, welcome to another beautiful Mellow Flow yoga class today. If you have any blocks, grab those, they might come in handy. Otherwise, a nice sturdy book or anything that might help you prop up a little bit might come in a little bit useful. They're not essential, but just an option for later on in the class. Today we're going to explore a little bit of hip opening and heart opening. Always feels quite nice, especially as a start to your day if you're doing this in the morning. It can also feel really nice if you've been sitting at a desk or in a car for a long time. So enough waffling, let's start lying on our backs today. So coming on down onto your back. If you would like to start in a supported fish pose, you can pop a block underneath your sort of mid-back, sort of between the shoulder blades. It can be up on this high setting, or you can pop it on its flattest setting. And then if you need to, pop another block or maybe a cushion underneath your head, just to allow your head to feel nice and supported here. So depending on how much space you have in your chest, you might have the block underneath your head on the lowest setting, and then maybe the block on its second highest setting behind your back. Remembering that these are all optional, you can just come onto your back on the floor. And if you've taken the blocks and decided that they're really uncomfortable, you can just get rid of them. That's absolutely fine. Then once you're here, take your arms out wide, or as wide as you like. Options here to have the knees bent and the feet flat to the floor. Or you might like to bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees go wide, finding a kind of version of Supta Baddha Konasana. Once you've found your starting position, whatever you've chosen that to be, just start to close down the eyes and just notice how your body is feeling this morning. See if you can allow the whole body to soften down into the floor. So as we move through the class today, exploring this hip opening and heart opening flow, we can also start to think about creating space. Creating space in the hips, space in the chest, but also creating space for yourself. Allowing yourself to perhaps notice those moments in between, those spaces in between. When we start to take notice, it's almost like taking a pause and finding presence in that pause. Starting to bring your awareness to your breath. Can you start to perhaps find a smooth inhale and a slow exhale? As you breathe in, notice that you are breathing in. And as you breathe out, notice that you are breathing out. Finding presence in the action of breathing.
then shift your awareness to the little pause in between your breath. As the inhale turns into an exhale, and as the exhale turns into an inhale. And then perhaps starting to invite a deeper inhale, a longer exhale, and perhaps a purposeful pause in between each. Perhaps just for a count of 1 or 2. Not worrying too much about how long the inhale and exhale is. Smoothing them out, sure. Perhaps making them even. Inhale and exhale. But just bringing your awareness to that mindful pause in between. I'll leave you in a bit of silence here. If you would like to assign a count to the inhale and the hold and the exhale, feel free. Maybe it's 4-2-6 or 4-2-4. But just make that count work for you. So I'll leave you in some silence, being aware of the breath. Take a deep breath in. And a slow breath out. If you are up on your blocks, just gently roll up or off to one side, remove them, and just come flat onto your back on your mat. If your knees are wide in Supta Baddha Konasana, just gently lift the knees up to point to the ceiling. We'll all plant the feet flat to the floor. And just come straight in for some rolling bridges. So tucking the tailbone, scoop the belly in, squeeze your bum and lift the hips. And then roll all the way down. And just continuing with this a couple of times. Inhale to lift up. Really feel like you're opening the front of your hip bones. Roll it all the way down. The opening of the hips will happen from squeezing your bum. So squeezing into glute max, that big muscle that creates the shape of your bum, whatever shape that might be. Little tuck of the tailbone to help lengthen through the lower back. Just a couple more. Beautiful. One more time. We'll roll up. Roll it down. We'll just cross the right ankle over your left thigh. Take your arms out a little bit wider here, maybe not all the way to a T, maybe like an upside down V. With your right ankle on your thigh, just flex your right toes towards your knee and just let your knee kind of gently be pulled by your right ankle over towards the right. Try to keep your left hip down a little. Come back to center, keep the ankle on your thigh and just take your left knee across to the left. And then just rock it over one more time to the right. Come back to the left. And coming back to center. Uncross the leg and just take the left foot onto your right thigh, flex the toes. And then just let your right knee fall over to the right, bring your left ankle with it. And then gently pull on the right thigh with the left ankle, pulling the knee across to the left. Take it back over to the right one more time. And across to the left. Back to center. And arm across the legs. You might want to bring your knees in towards your chest, maybe taking a couple of knee circles. So you've got hands on top of the knees. Separate the knees out wide and then circle them down, back to center and pull them into your chest. So like stirring your thigh bones in your hip sockets. Belly drawing in just so that your back stays nice and safe and still. Pull one more. And then pull your knees in towards your chest, give them a little hug. And then just make your way up and over into 4-point kneeling. So coming with your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees under your hips, just come straight into a cat-cow, dipping the belly, and then rounding through the spine. Adding on any extra movements you might like in your cat-cow, giving your bum a little wiggle around, getting your rib cage rolling. Just finding what feels nice here as you continue to round and arch your spine. You can let your neck get a little bit dangly and long, head nice and heavy. And here, just really bringing your awareness to your breath. So moving with breath, then using your inhale and exhale to find that extra space and movement through the body. Just a couple more here. Next time you come through from your rounded shape, find your flat back. Making sure your knees are under your hips and your hands are under your shoulders. Squeeze your right bottom to send your right leg back. And then just pull your knee around towards your elbow and drop the knee down under the hip. So just drawing a big circle, extending the right leg out, circling the knee around and down under the hip. Nice. It might feel nice to get a little bit more involved in the left glute. So as you extend your left leg back, turn your hips open, squeezing into your left glute to open that inside of your hip, and then pull your knee around towards your elbow. Bring the hips back square to the floor. So just making that movement a little bit bigger, getting that opening through the pelvis. Making sure you squeeze your left butt cheek, so the lower side, squeezing to help open your hips to the right. Just a couple more. Again, checking with your breath in that you are breathing. And maybe noticing that little pause at the bottom of your circle. Maybe there's a pause as you extend your leg back. A pause as you open the hips. And finding that stillness and that presence, move from that place. One more time, reach, open the hips, bend the knee, bring it down. This time send the leg back, tuck the toes and just bring your foot to the floor. Reach your left arm forward and then circle the arm up, back towards your hips and down to the floor. Reach up, open it to the ceiling, back and down. One more time, reach it forward, up, down, all the way forward and hold. Beautiful. And then hand down, knee down. Let's switch it. Left leg back, point the toes. We'll start with keeping the hips level,
is the knee in, lower it down. So it's a reach back, squeeze your bottom. Just rotate the knee out as you pull it in towards your elbow or your armpit. Lower it down. So lots of work happening in that left glute, in your left hip. One more time like that. And then we'll start to use that right butt cheek. So extend the leg back, squeeze your right butt cheek to open your hips to the left, bend your knee in, lower the knee down, hips are now square to the floor. So it's a reach back, open, bend, and lower. Using your breath to help, so maybe exhale, inhale, open, exhale, pull the knee in, inhale, bring it down. Reach back, open, and just finding those spaces. And within those spaces, finding that stability and balance. One more time here. In, down, reach it back and hold. Flex the toes, bring the foot down to the floor. Reach your right arm out in front. Open your arm to the ceiling, big reach back all the way towards the back of the room. Down underneath you and then reach it forward. Two more, big reach up, opening through the shoulder, reach back, down and forward. One more time, reaching up. Check in with the breath. Down. Reach it forward, hold. Find length through the fingertips all the way through the back body down to the toes. And then hand down, knee down. Send your bottom back to your heels. Reach your arms forward, maybe tent the fingertips just to relieve the wrists. And then scoop the belly, exhale as you ripple forward and lower all the way down onto your belly. Hands come off to the side, again tenting the fingers. Let's roll through Cobra. Inhale to lift the chest, squeeze your bottom, lift your belly. And exhale, lower down. Really feel the shoulder blades sliding down your back as your chest lifts. Let's do one more. Hands come back underneath your shoulders. Press yourself back with the toes tucked into your child's pose. Push through the hands. Lift the belly towards the spine as you exhale to hover your knees. And then lift your hips high to find your down dog. Just one time we'll ripple forward to plank. Bend the knees to hover, send your bum back to your heels, find that little crouch, and lift your hips high, down dog. Take a breath. Maybe a little pedal of the feet if that feels nice. And then bend your knees and just start to walk your hands towards your feet so that you're at the back of your mat. Slowly round yourself up to stand. Reach up, stretch up to the ceiling. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and just go for a little stretch over to the right, sticking your left hip out. Breathe into the left ribs. And then come all the way up. Take a hold of your right wrist, really lengthen through that right side and then exhale into that side bend. All the way up, separate the arms. Inhale to reach, and then as exhale, open the arms wide and turn to your right. I realize you can't see my head, it's a bit weird, but reach long through the arms. Come back to center. Exhale to the left, reaching long. One more time, reach up, inhale, exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left, give your bum a little squeeze. Inhale back to center. Exhale, forward fold, belly in. Inhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Hello, we can see each other again. Exhale, lower. Walk the hands back out. Find your down facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, ripple forward. Find your plank. Bend your elbows, drop the knees if you like. We're going to come all the way down to the floor. Hands stay underneath the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and down. And then just lifting through Cobra, lift the chest as you inhale. Squeeze the elbows back. Inhale, lower. Lift. And lower. Inhale, lift up. Really draw the shoulder blades down. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. This time, either press back to child's pose or lift up through a plank. Hips will lift high. And then just walk your feet towards your hands. So you're in the standing forward fold at the top of your mat. On your next inhale, go for a halfway lift, chest forward, shoulder blades down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's reach up, stretch up to the ceiling. Give your bottom a little squeeze to open through the pelvis. And then exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to your plank. You're welcome to drop your knees. Bend your elbows, coming down either to a chaturanga or all the way to the floor. Lifting the chest forward into your up dog or cobra. And then your hips go high in your down facing dog. We'll take a breath. And then inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward. Step your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Squeeze your bum, maybe find a little back bend, opening the heart. Exhale, forward fold. One more round here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, find your plank. Modify with the knees on the ground if you need to. Coming forward, bend the elbows, pressing the chest through to your up dog or cobra. Lifting your hips. We'll all meet in down dog, however you get there. Lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale to step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step your left foot back. Drop your back knee. Keep the toes tucked and lift your chest to find your low lunge. Reach the arms up and then just bind into your eagle wrap. So right elbow underneath left. Trying to really hug your arms in towards each other. And then try to lift your elbows a little higher. Wrapping the shoulders forward, stretching across the back. Press through that right foot. Check that your knee is over your ankle. Inhale, lift the chest like you're trying to lift your top ribs up towards the ceiling. Butt squeezing. And then exhale, just try to pull your elbows in towards your lowest ribs. And then inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round it forward. So try not to roll through the lower back. We're not rounding here. Try to keep the lower back straight. And we're just trying to open, extend the upper spine, and then flex the upper spine. One more time. Let's inhale, lift. Exhale, round. This time as you inhale and lift, reach your arms up. Exhale, start to fold your hips, straighten your front knee, finding half Hanuman. Flex the right toes. Hands can reach behind you or hands can come to the floor. We're going to hold our half Hanuman here for a couple of breaths. Give yourself time to find presence in this space. So we're creating space in the lower back, lengthening. Creating space in the back of the right leg. Maybe flexing the toes a little more to encourage that space. Maybe finding space for the chest as you squeeze your shoulder blades. And all of these areas where we're creating space, can you breathe presence into that space? One more breath. Beautiful. Come back to your low lunge, reach to the ceiling, inhale. Exhale, turn to your right, left hand forward, right hand back. Go for one little back bend, paint the ceiling with your left hand, right hand comes to left thigh. And then windmill your left hand to the floor inside your right foot. Right arm reaches up. Finding a little low twist here. Press through your back foot and your front hand on the floor. Pick up that back knee, squeeze your left butt cheek. Press firmly through your right foot. One more inhale, reach it long. And then exhale, bring your hand back to the floor, outside your right foot. And then slowly sweep your right foot back, lifting your hips to find three-legged dog. Bend your knee and open your hip if that feels good. And then lower your foot back down, finding your down dog. Option here to ripple forward to your plank. Come through a flow, maybe with the knees down, bend the elbows. Lifting up through Cobra, maybe to up dog. And then lifting your hips, belly in. Down facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward. Take a little step or a jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, squeeze your bottom, open the front of your hips. Maybe find that little lift of your heart. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Knee comes down. Keep the toes tucked if that feels okay. And then lift the chest. Reach to the ceiling. So squeezing right butt cheek here. Let's eagle wrap the arms, left arm underneath this time. Trying to bring the palms of the hands together. If they don't want to come together, that's okay. Just binding as best you can. And if it feels better, you can grab your shoulders with your hands, giving yourself a little hug, which feels quite nice. So squeeze your right butt cheek. Press through that left foot. Make sure your ankle and knee are in alignment here, stacked. And then inhale, start to lift the chest, belly in. And as you exhale, try to hug your elbows into your lowest ribs. So I'm showing that slightly modified version here, this variation where you're giving yourself a hug. Of course, if you've got your eagle wrap arms, it's exactly the same as what we did on the other side. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, round through the upper back. Keep the belly drawing in, squeezing it to your spine. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round through the upper back. As you lift up, open the arms up. And then sweep the arms back as you flex your front foot. Straighten that front knee a little or a lot. Any amount is fine as you find your half Hanuman. So remember, arms can float back, reaching, squeezing the shoulder blades. If you feel more stable with your hands on the floor, go for that. So here, breathing into the spaces we're creating in the body. Flexing the toes. Maybe looking to see if maybe more space can be created somewhere else. Or maybe bending the knee. Maybe lifting the chest higher. We want to create the space in a way that feels invitational to us, not forced. Just like the breath, we don't want the breath to be forced. And can you breathe into these spaces, finding presence, awareness? And doing it all with a sense of kindness to yourself. Take one more breath. Moving from that place of space and presence, start to bend into your front knee. Plant the foot down, lift up, reach up to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, twist to your left, right hand forward. One time, exhale, find that little back bend. Paint the ceiling with your right fingers. Inhale up. And then exhale, right hand down, left arm to the ceiling. Tucking the back toes, squeeze your back butt cheek to lift that leg, finding simple twist. One more breath. Beautiful, send that arm back, down, frame your left foot. Start to lift the hips high as you slide that left foot back and up. Three-legged dog. Bend your knee and open your hip. And then start to lower the foot down. And then coming forward as you inhale to plank. Maybe the knees drop, maybe they stay lifted this time as you bend the elbows. Come down through chaturanga. Lifting the chest through to up dog or cobra. And then hips go high into your down facing dog. Okay, let's start to move a little faster. Take your right leg to the ceiling, three-legged dog. Pull your knee in towards your chest, step your foot between your hands. Inhale, lift the chest and find runner's lunge. And then just relaxing the chest down. One more time, inhale, puff the chest forward. And release. This time, reach the arms up as you lift your chest, or find my words, finding your crescent lunge. Beautiful. Let's wrap into our eagle arms, or wrapping the hands towards your shoulders. Just 2 times. Inhale, lift the chest. Ooh, finding balance. Exhale, pull the elbows in towards your lowest ribs. Beautiful, strong through the legs, note to self. Lift the chest. Exhale, pull the elbows in. And then inhale, lift up. Open the arms to the ceiling, pivot your back heel down, and find warrior 2. I'm just going to turn around so I can look at you. So we're going to open the arms into that nice big T. Beautiful. So you've got your warrior 2. Now starting to really deepen into that bend. See if you can now, like you're kind of reverse drawing a bow and arrow, you're going to pull this left hand in towards you, pivot your back heel up, reach forward and up, find crescent lunge. And then open the arms, big circle, pivot that back heel down, finding your warrior 2. So pivoting the back heel up, push the air forward, reach the arms up, crescent lunge. Then pivot the back heel down, open the arms, warrior 2. Really feel like you're wrapping this front thigh open, knee tracks over the toes. One more time, push through that front foot as you pivot into your crescent lunge. And then open, to warrior 2. Flip your front palm, reach forward. Reverse your warrior, so stay deep in that front knee. Come back to warrior 2. This time, let's relieve that front leg. Straighten that front knee, paint the ceiling, reverse triangle. Come back to the T-shaped arms, bend back into your knee, warrior 2. And then bring your forearm to your thigh. Reach your left arm up and over, extended side angle. Maybe your left hand comes to your block, so you can have your block underneath your right hand, left arm to the ceiling. And then let's go for a little circle of that left arm back towards your hip. Circle it down, out in front, reach it up and over. 2 more like that, big circle. Try to keep the torso nice and still. Keep pressing that right knee slightly out to the side so it tracks over your little toe. 1 more time, lift up, around, down, and overhead, holding here in your side angle. Keep drawing the belly in, keep squeezing your bottom, especially this right side. Opening the hips forward, and then strong through both legs. Start to lift the chest, lift the arms, find your warrior 2. Oh, how's that right glute? And then straighten that knee. Reverse triangle. Come up to a T. Turn the feet forward, moving your block out of the way. So now facing the side of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips if you like, belly in. And then just slightly folding forward till your chest is parallel to the floor. Maybe hands come down to your mat or to your block. And then start to let the rest of the body just melt down. Maybe the head dangles. If inversions are your jam, you can maybe take an inversion here. Otherwise, you might just grab a hold of your ankles, maybe walk your hands back behind you a little. Just take 1 more breath. And if you're in your inversion, slowly coming out. We'll all meet in this forward fold into a halfway lift. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, soften. Then back into your right knee, turn yourself back around into a nice runner's lunge. We'll inhale, puff the chest. Exhale, just find a quick little standing split, so lifting your left leg back behind you. Right knee can be soft. And then just land your left foot next to your right, coming into your forward fold. We'll inhale, halfway lift, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Lift your right heel, so shift your weight into your left foot. Reaching your arms up, chest comes up. Try to bring your right knee with you. Finding a little standing balance. And here you've got options. I'm just going to turn so you can see. So you can either cross your ankle over your thigh, sit down into this open eagle or figure 4 balance. You can eagle wrap your arms just like we've been doing. You might like to take your eagle wrap of the legs and cross your right thigh all the way over your left. Maybe you can wrap this ankle around the back of your left calf. And then just sitting your bottom down. See if you can lift your elbows a little higher. Sink your bum a little deeper. Finding that space, your breath, stillness and presence. Kindness and compassion. 1 more breath. Slowly unwrap the arms. Slowly unwrap the legs as you come all the way out to stand. Slowly start to fold forward, send your right leg back. Gently start to bring the hands down, toes down at the back. Step your left foot back, lift your hips high, down dog. And then your option to come forward to a flow plank, through chaturanga, up dog or cobra. We'll all meet in down dog. And then we'll straight away take the left foot to the ceiling, 3-legged dog. Bring your knee in towards your chest, step your foot between your hands. Beautiful, puffing the chest forward into your runner's lunge. Just going to turn around back this way. And then just let the chest kind of fold over your thigh. 1 more time, puff the chest forward, inhale. Exhale, soften. Inhale, start to lift the chest, lift the arms, find crescent lunge. Wrap your left arm underneath your right, or hugging your shoulders, otherwise bringing hands together. Just 2 times, lifting the chest, lift the elbows. Exhale, pull the elbows in towards your ribs. 1 more time, inhale up. exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll reach up. Nice and strong in your present lunge. Pivot the back heel down, opening to your warrior two. So deep bend into this left knee. Strong through that back right leg. It might help to look forward over your left fingers. And then you're pivoting your right hand as you reach your pivoting your right foot, heel, as you reach your right arm forward. Arms lift up to your present lunge. So strong squeeze through your right butt cheek here. And then squeeze the left butt cheek to keep this left hip open as you open to your warrior two. So it's a push with the right hand as you look forward, pivot the back heel up, reach up, and then circle the arms, pivot the back heel down, warrior two. Sometimes it's better if I just don't say sides, I just say back and front. Reaching up, opening into warrior two. Beautiful, one more time. Find the space in between each motion. Stability there as you land. Beautiful, keep that front knee bent as you reverse your warrior. And come all the way back to your warrior two. This time reverse triangle. Straighten that front knee. Lifting up and back. Find that T shape in the arms. Bend to your front left knee. Make sure that knee's tracking over your toes, not rolling inwards. And then find your side angle. Left forearm down, right arm reaching up and over. So remember, you've got the option of your block. Maybe bringing your left hand to your block. Squeezing your bum, trying to keep this, especially this right hip, lengthening and opening. This left hip is in flexion, so it's bending, but we're trying to open the inside of the hip. So you're still trying to wrap the chest around and squeeze your left butt cheek, push through that left foot. Right arm reaches up and over, and let's take that little circle. Down, back, up, and around. Down, back, up, and around. One more time. Down, back, up, reaching it over here. Find that nice length all the way down your right side. Find that stability where you need to maybe press a little harder through the feet, the belly, that shoulder drawing down from your ear. Can you wrap your chest open a little more? Take one more breath. Then pressing through the feet, belly in as you start to lift yourself up to your warrior two. Ooh, straighten that front knee, reverse triangle. Come back to that T shape. Turn your left toes in. So again, facing the side of your mat. And then just diving forward into that forward fold. Again, if you would like to, inversion's welcome. Maybe just a little bend of each knee from side to side. Maybe walking the hands back. Take one more breath. If you're inverted, slowly coming down to that wide-legged forward fold. And we'll inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend back into your left knee, walk the hands back around. Beautiful. Kick that right leg up as you find your standing split, just for a breath. And then start to bend your right knee in, land your foot down into your forward fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Lift your left heel, shift your weight into your right foot. Press through your right heel to stabilize as you roll yourself up, bringing your left knee up to your chest. Reach to the ceiling. Beautiful. So here, either open eagle, figure four balance. There's a little bit of stretch. As you sit yourself down, either hands in prayer or left elbow wraps under right. Otherwise, you can take your full eagle wrap, wrapping your left thigh all the way over. So make sure you really take your leg all the way over. So you're pulling your left hip forward and then sitting yourself down. Watch this right knee doesn't start to pull over towards your midline. You want to try and keep that knee tracking straight over the toes. And then really sitting yourself down, finding that balance. Look at something that's not moving. Maybe lifting the elbows a little higher, feeling that stretch across your back. Taking a few more breaths here, finding that stability and that space. Perhaps even stillness. Tune into that breath. One more breath here. Slowly unwrap the arms. As you start to stand, unwrap the legs, lifting that left knee up. Slowly start to fold, floating your left leg back. And as slowly as you can, start to bring your hands down, back toes down, into your lunge. Plant the hands, slowly take your right foot back. Little pedal of the feet. Last time, you're welcome to take a flow. Ripple forward to plank. Elbows bend. Going all the way down, perhaps and lifting through Cobra. Or all the way to up dog. And then your hips go high into your down dog. Let's straight away bring the knees to the floor. Find your child's pose. Arms reaching forward. Just letting yourself settle. Reconnecting to your breath. Take a little walk with your hands over to the right side of your mat. Try to keep your left sit bone connected to your left heel. And just try to find a bit more space in your left side body. See if you can start to deepen your inhale, at the same time feeling that left rib cage expand. And as you allow your exhale to be a little slower, see if you can feel the left side of your body really soften and relax. As you're creating space, you're creating the opportunity to ground into some stillness. Take one more breath. Walk the hands back and over to the left. So really reach through the right arm. Send your right sit bone towards your heel. Direct your breath into the right side of the body. Ribs expanding on your inhale, creating all of that beautiful space. And everything softening, grounding into stillness with your exhale. Walk your hands back to center. Just holding your child's pose for a breath. Now it might feel nice to bring your forehead to the floor. You can always bring your forehead to your block. But then you might like to bring your hands together in prayer above your head. And then bend your elbows so that your thumbs come to sort of the base of your neck. Press your elbows into the floor, draw the shoulders down from your ears.
Sort of feels like you're trying to press your armpits down and out. Take one more breath. And then release the arms. Slowly walk your hands towards your knees and you roll your chest up. And bring the knees together. We'll come into a little Huff Camel here. We'll lift up. If you like, tuck your toes. You've always got the option of having your blocks behind you. Instead, if it doesn't feel nice to tuck your toes. So I'll show you with a version without toes tucked, so feet flat, blocks behind you. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, go for a little twist to your right. Bring your hands back towards your block. You can move your blocks obviously. And then paint your left arm up and over, squeezing your bottom to press your hips forward. Try not to collapse into this right shoulder. Take one more breath. And then slowly sink your bottom down all the way. Then obviously with the version of toes tucked, we lift up, twist to your left, paint the ceiling as you start to bring your hand down. You can bring your hand to your heel here, opening the chest, squeezing your bum to open the hips, and then slowly sink the bum down all the way to your heels. Let's come to sit on our bottoms. Now it might feel nice here to sit on a block. Give yourself a bit more space through the lower back. Legs go nice and long. Sitting up nice and tall, belly in. Reach your arms overhead. Nice big inhale. And as you exhale, flex the toes. Hinge from your hips to fold forward. Really lifting out of the lower back here. Kind of really sticking your booty back behind you. Chest nice and open, taking one more breath like this. And then just allow your upper body to just round forward and softening down into that forward fold. Breathe into those spaces you've created. And then ground yourself down with your exhale. Slowly start to roll yourself back up. Taking your block out from underneath you if you have it. And slowly roll yourself down onto your back. Might feel nice to hug your knees in towards your chest. And then reaching your legs to the ceiling, finding legs up the wall. You might like to create a bit more space for your lower back and pop a cushion, or if you've got like a little small Pilates ball or your block underneath your back. I'm just finding a spot here that feels like you're elevated, but the block isn't kind of bothering you. So give yourself that sort of nice, comfortable base. And maybe just letting the legs kind of dangle around. Reach your arms up as well. And of course, if we'd like to go into shoulder stand or plow, feel free to do that. Just 4 or so more breaths here. slowly come out of whichever pose you've chosen. If the block is underneath you, just lift your bum up and remove it. And just bring yourself all the way down onto your back. If you would like to, you can take Supta Baddha Konasana for your Shavasana. Otherwise, just your traditional Shavasana pose here with the legs long. Let the feet just fall out to the sides of the room. Arms can be down by your side with the palms facing up. But if you do prefer to have your hands on your belly or your ribs to connect you to your breath, then definitely feel free to take that option. I'll give you a few minutes here in silence. Just allow yourself to sit in this space that you've created, both in your body and your mind. And allow your breath to be the only thing that is moving in this space. So just leave you in some silence. Just keep your awareness at your breath. Take a deep breath in. And a slow, steady breath out. Invite some movement into your fingers and toes. If your knees are wide in Supta Baddha Konasana, then just gently draw the knees back to the ceiling. Might feel nice to just lengthen them out or hug them into your chest. And then being really gentle with yourself, just slowly start to bring yourself up to seated. Keep the eyes closed if you can. Just keeping your awareness drawing inwards. Once you have arrived at whichever comfortable seat you have chosen, kneeling or sitting cross-legged, however you might be, just become aware of the feeling of the floor beneath you. Become aware of the space around you.
become aware of the space that you've created within your body. This feeling of simultaneous softness and groundedness and lightness, spaciousness. Finishing the practice this morning, or whenever you're watching, with just a moment of gratitude. Thinking of anything that you might be feeling grateful for today. Notice how that feeling of gratitude shows up in your body. And carry that feeling with you for the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me for this juicy hip and heart opening class. I hope that started you off to a great day, or maybe finished your day nicely and you sleep well. But either way, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining me once again, and I will see you next time.